Hi everybody, Mamie Pack here. I want to welcome you all to this week's edition of Midweek 3. Thank you so much for being on this journey with me. So today I thought what we would talk about is home haven, 3 steps to set the atmosphere in your home. Now before we get into the practical steps of what this is and what this looks like, I really wanted to share with you my heart for this topic and why I am so passionate about this. So when Stanley and I first were married many years ago, I already had a career. I was already a single mom. I understood building a career. I understood expectations and outcomes. It was something tangible for me to work toward. Like, it made sense to me. And I worked very hard to build my reputation and to get the next degree, etc. And during that season, after Stanley and I were married, and we had already added another son to our family, and I was pregnant with our 3rd son, that God had said, okay, I want you to come home. And I was like, I think I heard you wrong. And so I really kind of fought God on this one. I'm like, no, I love what I'm doing. I'm passionate. I'm making a difference. And I could not imagine not having a career. And the Holy Spirit just continued to work with me to where I addressed my fears and I said yes to God. And becoming a stay-at-home mom was one of the best decisions that I ever made for myself, for my family. And so for 6 years, I was a stay-at-home mom. And in those couple of beginning years, God really reworked my thought process and helping me understand things from a different perspective, from his godly perspective. And he showed me that, you know what, I was comfortable with building a career, but he was going to show me how to build my family. And that meant reworking some very unhealthy thinking, some negative thoughts, and showing me the authority that he gave me as a wife, and showing me the authority that he gave me as a mother, and how I could nurture and how I set the atmosphere in my home. And I was just blown away that, like, wow, I influence all of this, that I can, whether I have a good attitude or a bad attitude, like, I have authority in this home. And so I really began to, like, okay, God, show me what this needs to look like. What do I need to do? And so he showed me Proverbs 21 verse 9, and I'm going to paraphrase it. And so basically what it says is that it's better to be on a rooftop, yes, a rooftop, than to be in the house with a quarrelsome woman. Oh my gosh. I would love to say that wasn't me, but it was me. I mean, I was nagging. I would come in the door and fussing. Why is this not cleaned up? Why don't you all have this done? How many times I need to tell you? Like, that was me. I was that woman. And I was creating an environment where who would want to come home to that? And so I really was like, Lord, help me to rework my mouth. Help me to rework my attitude. Show me, what does this look like? How do I create an atmosphere in my home where you are the focal point, that the husband and my children, they look forward to coming into our home, that they want to be here, and they can't count it down like, oh, I get to go home today. And so before we start talking about the practical steps that I do for creating the atmosphere at home, I want to tell you 3 things that are my non-negotiables. And those things are prayer, praise, and worship. And so prayer, praise, and worship. Those are 3 things that I do no matter what, whether we're talking about building a career, we're building our home, building a marriage, that in all things I'm going to God in prayer, seeking his word, his guidance. Look, God, what is it that you want me to do? How do I speak? How do I behave? How do I move forward? Praising him, worshiping him. That is an integral part in everything that I do. And so then from there, God reveals to me what steps I need to walk out for my husband and my children. And so what I'm about to share with you are just 3 of the things that I do to set an atmosphere at home where it is nurturing and loving and inviting. So the first one is going to be, I say I love you. Like, I say I love you on a very regular basis throughout the day to my husband and my children. I don't just reserve it for when we're getting off the phone or when they're coming home from school, but I am saying it passing by them in the kitchen. I'm stopping and hugging them and like, you know what, I'm so thankful I'm your mom. I'm so thankful that God blessed me with you. And so the love that I'm able to pour out to them is the love that God has poured into me. So it's an overflow in my relationship with God. And so it really helps me to be able to be so appreciative of them, and that my love is not based upon their behavior or their performance. It's not something that they have to be worthy of, but it is that I get to love them. I get to give them what God has given me, and that is such an honor to be able to do. And the moments where I found that I'm hesitant to love, I'm hesitant to express my love, then that's where it's a heart check for me, where I go back to God. I'm like, what about this is causing me to be reserved? Why am I not able to show this? Is it that I haven't spent enough time with you, God? Am I disconnected from you? Do I feel hurt, offended? Like, before I'm using my mouth to say something to them, I'm pressing pause and going back to God, like, okay, God, show me if this is me. What do I need to do so that I can love and love well? The second thing that I do on a daily basis is that I meet my fellas at the front door. Yes, you heard that correctly. When my husband comes home, when my boys come home from school or playing or whatever, I make it a priority to meet them at the door. I'm not on my phone. I'm not watching TV. I try not to be in meetings or anything like that. That I get up and I make it, I'm intentional about greeting them. I'm greeting them with smiles and hugs and saying, I'm happy that you're home, and really welcoming them to say, hey, this is where you belong. This is your home. This is your safe place. And I'm happy that I get to do this journey with you. And so it's not about their attitude, because I have a teenager, so that means we're going to do a teenager hormones. I have a, soon to be middle schooler who, is like, oh, mom, I don't want all this. So their response does not impact my response to them. So I'm coming to the door excited to see them. I'm coming to the door thankful that my husband has walked through the door another time, that my children are home another time, that I get to hug them another chance. So I'm thankful, and I make that a priority for what I do with them. And then the last one is that I'm affectionate. I hug them, I hold their hand, I sit on the couch with them, I get on the floor with them and play with the boys. I really want them to know that I am physically present for them, and additionally to being mentally present. And so I don't allow the attitudes to get in the way. And again, that's that heart check. If I feel like I don't want to hold hands and I don't want to hug, I'm like, God, why not? Why do I want to hug my husband right now? Did he do something to make me mad? And if he did, withholding affection should not be a punishment for my husband not responding in a way that I want him to, so that goes to that control issue. Am I the only one with it? So I really want to make sure that affection is something that is freely given. Again, it's not something that they have to earn or something that they have to show me. That is just that, hey, I'm going to love you. I'm going to be present with you. I'm going to show up. So those are just 3. And I have more, but just 3 of the everyday things that I do to create an atmosphere in my home where my family feels loved, where they feel that I want them to be here, that they have a place here, that I'm celebrating their place in our home. And I just want to say too, what I love about God so much is that I made a lot of mistakes before I started getting this. And God allows us to just start fresh. And so if you are there where you're like, you know what, I have used my affection to manipulate, if you've withheld saying I love you because you were mad, that go ahead, take that to God and start fresh today. Like, you can start right now to go ahead and welcome your husband when he comes home and hug him. You can greet your kids when they come in, give them a hug, tell them I love you. Don't just reserve it for when they're doing the right things, but that we're loving at all times without barriers. So I want to thank you for taking time today to join me on this journey, for being a part of what we're doing here. And if you would, go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't already. And join me on my website, mamiepack.cm, for other blogs and updates. And go ahead, of course, share with a friend. So I look forward to seeing you back here again. And I just thank you for being here with me. Have a great day.